In the previous episode, Goldgrind hit a huge milestone, unlocking the auction house and stacking way more gold than most level 30s could dream of. Plus, he expanded his backspace big time, ready for even more loot runs ahead. Today, Goldgrind has a brand new list, a list of goals he'll complete on his journey to level 40. There's a lot of work ahead, tons of gold to farm, and new challenges to face. But the ultimate reward awaits. At level 40, a shiny 100% mount to make him faster than ever. Alright, first things first, let's talk addons. Goldgrind's setup got a few updates, and there's a good reason behind each one. For auction house trading, you've seen him use two key addons, Auctioneer and TSM. Auctioneer handles the random mats for quick sells, while TSM will take the spotlight later when things get serious. And yeah, the new interface? That's Titan Panel. It shows Goldgrind goal total at all times. No more opening bags mid-run. It's packed with handy info, and honestly it makes editing way smoother when I don't have to hunt through clips just to show how much gold he's got. Before leaving Stormwind for the next Goldgrind adventure, he takes a moment to upgrade his professions, learning new ranks of both mining and herbalism. The next zones will be full of new ores and herbs just waiting to fill Goldgrind's bags. Speaking of bags, since he farmed a decent amount of gold in the previous episode, Goldgrind decided to invest it wisely. 4 Frostwave bags for extra inventory space, which cost pretty much, giving him 16 additional slots plus 3 Netherwave bags for his bank. All 7 bank slots together cost 111 gold and 10 silver. Once the Netherwave bags are in the place, boom, job done. 90 plus empty slots for Goldgrind is pretty nice for a level 30, right? Oh, and all the leftover materials from the last episode that didn't sell, they're back on the auction house. Around 100 gold just waiting to be collected. Of course, if all sell. The votes for the next feature were pretty clear. You guys wanted Goldgrind to use the random dungeon finder. We'll dive into that in just a minute, but first there are few things to care of. The next step in this episode is Goldgrind class quest for his final big spell, Berserker Stance. This will be his main stance from now on. The quest chain itself is pretty simple, but first we need to get there. Fly to Rebel Camp and check this out. A proper PvP enjoyer helping the opposite faction. Then head down to Booty Bay, catch a boat to Ratchet, and swim to the island where the quest NPC is waiting. Take out a few mobs, then the big one, and boom, Goldgrind now has his Berserker stance. On the way back to Stormwind, Goldgrind heard some strange noises. Turns out, two guys with over 100k fish just chilling behind him. Definitely not bots, right? Right? Comment below what you think. Next on the list, Glyphs. By level 30, Goldgrind had unlocked 2 major and 1 minor glyph slot. And come on, Blood Rage without losing any health? That's pretty sweet. Now, we all know Goldgrind isn't exactly a fan of shields or defensive stance. But since the audience voted for the random dungeon finder, it was time for a little change of heart. His first RDF run was as DPS on 7 times experience rate. The quest was long, and with a slow two-handed weapon, his rage generation was awful. No rage means no DPS, simple as that. Still, 1 dungeon later, and boom, 2 levels gained. Way too fast for someone trying to grind gold, not experience. So, time for a Respec. He went protection, picked up one-handed sword and shield from auction house, and jumped back in. The Discord crew was right. Protection Warrior is actually fun. Solid threat, great sustain, and surprisingly better DPS than before. From that point on, every RDF was done on 1x experience rate, focusing on maximizing loot, clothes, boy greens and blue items for the auction house. On average, each dungeon gave Goldgrind about 2 stacks of cloth, some random profession recipe, and an occasional boy blue item for the auction house. Not bad, but let's be real, RDF gold was just not enough for Goldgrind. So it was time to take the auction house game to the next level, flipping items while waiting in queue, or when Goldgrind just wasn't in the mood for tanking. Right now, Goldgrind's flipping the classics: linen, silk, and copper, both ores and bars. Simple stuff, but surprisingly good gold for his level. Sure, you can make some gold selling boy blues from RDF, but those take forever to sell and the prices crash faster than your FPS in Dalaran. So let me show you first how did Goldgrind get to level 40 and then talk a bit specific on his flipping choice. At 1x rate, Goldgrind had to do at least 3 to 4 RDFs to ding. In the meantime, Goldgrind kept investing his gold into item flipping. Copper ores and bars were selling fast, bringing in steady profit. As a protection warrior with multiple mobs on him, rage was never an issue, and his AoE damage kept him high on the DPS charts. At higher levels, he got a group for Reserve and Downs, a pretty long dungeon, but longer runs means more bosses, and more bosses means more experience, even on 1x experience rate. Of course, not every run went smoothly. There are always a few high IQ players in every group, if you know what I mean. So, when Goldgrind finally decided to leave the party and got hit with the Deserter debuff, he used that downtime wisely, heading back to his favorite mining cave in Redridge Mountains. Put all to auction house and queue for next RDF. 2 Scarlet Monastery dungeons to be exact. After that, another long run followed. Uldaman. Nearly 40 minutes from start to finish. The downside? The rest of the group gained 3 to 4 levels, while Goldgrind barely got half a level. Even the final quest was still unavailable to him. By now, Goldgrind had stacked up over 2k gold in total if all his auctions sold, and was just 2.5 levels away from hitting level 40. After another trip to his favorite cave in Redridge, the numbers were looking promising. Bags full of ores and cloth, all ready to hit the auction house. Silk cloth was doing great on the market, but Goldgrind pushed it a bit too far. Stacking up over 50 stacks is always risky if demand drops. Still, every single item he got, from RDF loot to mined ores, went through a little flipping magic before hitting the auction house. Then it was back to the leveling grind, this time with 7 times experience rate. The main reason was simple: to finish the recordings faster and make sure there's enough time to edit and bring you one episode every week. Once Goldgrind hit level 40, he learned all his new spells, including plate armor, and then switched the experience rate down to 0.5. From there, he ran a few more RDFs to farm some boys and push toward his final gold goal, 5000 gold. And on his very first post level 40 run, luck finally kicked in. An epic bow dropped. Of course, it's going straight to the auction house. Along the way, Goldgrind even picked up a few item upgrades and earned a new achievement while doing it. The next gold source for Goldgrind was farming mobs in Strangletron Vale. Those green hills of Strangletron pages actually sell for a pretty decent amount. But since it's a contested zone, there are always a few rogues lurking in the shadows, waiting for you to drop to low HP just to stab you in the back, even using potions while having advantage. Not once, but multiple times. Good job, buddy. Keep doing what you do if that's what makes you happy. Goldgrind even managed to loot the most expensive Green Hills page, which surprisingly sold within 24 hours. At this point, his final goal of 5000 gold was getting close. With almost 200 stacks of silk cloth, it was finally time to fill up his bank storage. He even ran one more Scarlet Monastery hoping for a rare chest drop. But no luck. Instead, another boy epic dropped, this time leather gloves. To sum it all up, here's a quick look at the TSM analytics. Boys brought in around 1000 gold, usually selling after 2 to 3 days and several reposts. Everything else came for flipping or farming, as shown through the episode. The best profit overall? Flipping copper ore, or turning it into bars. Simple, consistent, and surprisingly effective. In total, Goldgrind made over 2000 auction purchases and posted more than 2500 auctions. For a level 40 character, that's a pretty solid number. And finally, it was time for the reward, the 100% mount. With his 5k gold goal reached, Goldgrind went on a shopping spree and bought every single mount available. Why? Because he can, simple as that. After one last trip to the mailbox, he was back at 5000 gold, with all items sold or vendored, bags and bank completely empty, just to have everything ready for the next part of his challenge. Until then, check Discord to vote for the next feature to unlock for Goldgrind, and I'll see you in the episode 5.